from January 22nd, right, we're in
Yeah, they'll-
February.
Extensive minutes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
All good? Excellent. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out tonight.
The microphone, Mr. Chairman. Everyone.
Is it on? Oh, it's on. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to this evening's hearing after this epic storm we just had. We have just one application on the agenda. I just want to go over, give you a brief overview on it, and then at 6:30 we'll start our hearing. Before we do that, I'd like to just approve the zoning board minutes from January 22nd. Has everyone had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Can we vote without Alexia? We have a quorum, right? We
Right,
can-
we have a quorum, right?
Okay.
That being said, Antonio, you were here, right? Yep. Antonio was here, Tracy was here, I was here, and Dan, so we got enough to, excuse me.
There was a lot of business that night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was
that was-
definitely a lot, it was a busy application for us evening. Everyone ready to vote on these?
Yes.
I want to make a motion that we approve the January 22nd, 2026 meeting minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, so Cindy, we're all good for that? Okay, so, good news,
yes.
and, good news, and I will let, Jim, you want to present the good news? You wanna- All right, so I'm gonna let, help,
Thanks.
just go right to the podium. This way, just,
Copies of the decision I handed out to you is on Should I sing a little bit?
Yeah. Headset like a Backstreet Boy.
I'm telling you, yeah.
This is the decision, if you recall, that you guys had denied the application of Mr. Nenninger, or it was under Little Harbor Partners for the split of the properties up in the
This was the
the
Sawassa Park,
poet
right?
section over there.
Right,
Yeah, yeah,
Sawassa
Swa- yeah,
Park,
right,
yeah,
right, right.
Sawassa Park
Right.
at the end of Hawthorne,
Yeah.
and, yep,
And the the Supreme Court agreed with you, finding that basically that the decision was based on substantial evidence. Judge Napolitano at the time, and then the applicant took it up to the appellate division. It was fully briefed, and then I argued the case a few months back, I guess, back in August or so. But and we just got the decision on it, and upholding the lower court's decision, finding that the board was based on substantial evidence. It was not arbitrary and capricious. So it's a win.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. you're very
does that
welcome.
mean we're actually doing something right?
You must, yeah, you're obviously doing something right there.
Well, one
The
for
great leadership of the
No,
Village
it's,
of Port Jefferson Planning Board. And
behind every
members.
leader is a good attorney, so there we go.
Well, you got a couple attorneys on this board. If I
Thank you, Jim.
yeah, you're very welcome.
Dan, can you just go up to the podium and give us I'm gonna kind of walk through this and add into it as all right, so tonight's hearing is, there was an application for a pool for 5 Waterview Drive. This is the initial, they have a building permit for it. This is the initial plan, and if you notice on the initial plan, that's a 40-foot setback there. But what they actually built was, Parker, could you, now notice no hot tub, no shed. Parker, can you
Yeah.
go to the as-built, please? All right, zoom in a little bit more. One more, thank you. Now, on this, the setback is 19.6, which is what we're hearing tonight for. And notice that the pool, instead of 40 foot, is 20 foot, which we'll take up with the applicant during the public portion of it. So, one of the problems is that, and Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, the applicant measured the setback off the fence and not the property line, and if you see there, the fence is actually what it appears to be about, and I'm just gonna throw out a number, I guess like 3 feet past the property line, I could be wrong. But, so, that's something we're gonna have to address, number one, whose fence it is, and if it's the applicant's, we may condition or may not condition. And so, we're really here only for the 19.6 issue, so, that's what brought him here, but there's a few items that the applicant will have to explain to us. On the original plan, there was no hot tub. On the new plan, there is. The shed is under the required square footage, so no permit is required, and I believe it's about 7 feet off the property line. Am I right in saying that, Dan?
Yes, yeah, 7.1 feet
Okay.
off the western.
Yes. I don't know how much more closer I can get to it, so.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
Dan, we were talking about the fence. We would have to have them update the building permit at some point with you guys. And what was the third thing? I'm drawing a blank on.
The last one was about the pool compliant fence. So if you look at the survey right now, there's no, there is some fencing shown. There's obviously the one you mentioned that's off the property. But if you go back to the original building permit, there was what they showed 48 inches at the time, but the building inspector actually approved it at 60 inches or 5 feet. There's a 5-foot fence that was supposed to be built around the pool. It's in compliance with the village code, and it just didn't appear as part of this application or on the most recent.
And that's also a New York State code, am I correct in
It
saying
is. So
that?
New York
Okay.
State is actually a little less restrictive. I believe it's only 48 inches.
Right.
It's village code that
That
bumps it
up
up
to
to between 5 feet and 6.5. So
But that fencing doesn't have to be directly around the pool per se, as long as the area where the pool is fully enclosed.
exactly. So it could be the property
Right.
around the backyard as long as it just
Right,
is,
which
you
then
know,
brings us back to, is the fence that's on the property his? And if it is, he's gotta bring it onto his rectify that one way or another. Whether it's an easement or relocate the fence. Is he putting that fence up around the pool at all? Which is really not an issue for this board, but the fence on the property line is the issue, which is what drew us here tonight, so. I don't see it being a major non-compliance, but, it's just, things we have to know about and be ready for, so. Dan, do you have anything you wanna add to this application?
no, nothing
Okay.
significant. Just
All right.
it came up during they were looking to close out the permit, and that's when it was noticed. So
Okay.
several months ago. So
And this was done through Jim Redfield, who was the previous building inspector, right?
yes.
And
So
now Josephine, I guess, picked this, am I right? Josephine
So
picked
this is actually before Josephine. This
Oh,
was
okay.
when we had Kevin Cooper, he's our current supervisor, code enforcement. At
Oh,
the time, was
yep,
acting
I
in
know
building
Kevin, yep.
and helping us out. So he's the one who caught this
Okay.
when it came in. So
Excellent. Does anybody
Yeah.
have any questions for Dan on this before we get?
We don't have dimensions going back to the rear of the home, do we? No.
we don't.
No.
I mean, from the home to the
Yeah.
rear?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing you're probably somewhere 50 to 60 feet. But
Well,
maybe it depends where you say home or paver patio,
Well, yeah, if we go to the
Code is
structure.
what, 10 feet off the main structure?
Yes.
So
Ye-
this is certainly well beyond that.
Yeah. That was similar to that one we heard last month. And there's a couple other building permit issues that they'll have to deal with the hot tub and stuff like that, but that's, again, not for this board, just making people aware of it, so.
Yeah, the hot tub's actually surprisingly okay. The one thing because technically in our village code, it would have to be over 150 square feet to require a building permit. The one thing though is that New York State building code requires the pool compliant fence to be around a hot tub. So if
Oh.
there is a fence, it would have to actually include, the hot tub would also have to be surrounded by some kind of New York
Right,
a
right.
code fence
Code
that
compliant
meets-
fence, yeah.
exactly, yeah. So that's the only thing we noticed. That's more the building permit.
Right, it's not for
Stage,
this
but
board, I'm
yeah.
just kinda throwing it out there. We don't have any open violations on this property, right?
No, well,
Okay.
they did. So there is. Kevin issued one for the, just for to get appearance for the variance. No,
Right.
sorry, not a ticket. I'm mistaken, but it just knows a violation for
Right,
the
but
setback.
there's no, like, no CO, there's all COs and everything, is
Yes.
right, there's no,
Ye-
you know,
Yeah, everything on here's at least from what we have on record has gotten a CO at some point. So
right, okay,
except for the minor structures, but they're too small. Like they don't require permits. So
right, so, all right, in that case, we've got about 7 minutes before we can have the public hearing, unless anyone's got any questions, comments, if not, we'll remain on hold. Tracy, you showed up a little bit later, April 19th is the planning conference up in Cooperstown.
yes.
If you want to attend, you need to let Cindy know. We're all going to find out this week. Nobody from planning is going. The village is, and Cindy, correct me if I'm wrong, village is going to pay for room, board, and mileage.
I would have to give the administration a list of who wants to go,
Right.
and then they
thank you. So,
I was kind of considering going. Is anybody else going?
I think we're,
I'm
we're all
considering.
considering. I
Yeah.
gotta just, look at schedule when I get home.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, I'm considering it too, so.
Cooperstown is a good, what, 5, 6 hours?
No.
No?
I thought it was pretty
Five?
far up there.
No,
Yeah.
I thought Cooperstown was like 4.5, right?
Is it? It's,
Kind of like owning out to.
Alright.
Catskill Ridge.
Yeah, so you're between 4 and 5, somewhere in there, so.
Depends on the
Yeah. It's true.
The way it snowed lately, it might still be, there might still be snow up there when we go, yeah. Alright,
thanks.
thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Alright, we're gonna be on hold for another 6 minutes until the public hearing portion of this, so if we wanna relocate, unless anybody has any questions, comments.
Just do it from here since there's only one.
I mean, I'm fine with doing it from here, if everyone's okay. Please. consider them just,
Yep.
you know.
As you're coming
Yeah,
toward
are you
The
need
red,
to-
the red building?
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm
beautiful.
on the second floor.
Very nice.
All right, we all ready?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 26, 2026 Incorporated Village of Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Number one, thank you for everyone for coming out, in the snowy night. I hope everyone made it through the blizzard okay and everyone is safe. Would ask that you please turn your phones on to silent for the duration of the meeting. Cindy, stenographer.
So moving forward, since we have the audio visual, we will not.
Okay, excellent. Who's gonna do? Okay. Just quick question for you, or how do we do swearing in, or do we need swearing in anymore?
So,
I mean, that would be you, Jim, probably, because I.
Or who can swear in? I mean,
That's a legal question, I mean, I don't know.
I'll swear in, I'll marry, I'll do anything you ask me to, come on. Hey, listen, I'm willing to try anything once. I'll do it for tonight, and then if we could just get a
We'll have to
clarification on that.
Look into that.
All right, I'll do a clarification on,
Wouldn't Cindy be able-
I don't know what the,
I don't mind doing it, I just don't know if it's legally appropriate.
Right,
So
so-
we'll look into that tomorrow.
I'll do it tonight, just for this hearing, and then if you can get a clarification on it, we'll do it.
Yes.
Is you okay, everybody, Jim, you comfortable with that? Sure. Okay, thank you. All right, sorry, guys, we're just clearing up some little procedural changes here. All right, we have one application on the agenda. Am I in the microphone? Am I good for you? Okay. Okay. We have one application on the agenda this evening. It's 5 Waterview Drive. It's appeal number ZB-1-26, Suffolk County Tax Map number 206, Section 4, Block 1, Lot 4. Zoning is R-A1 Residential District. The property owner Ilya and Yelena Zuda, and I apologize if I'm butchering your name. The applicant is Christopher J. Doty, P.E. Contact is Christopher J. Doty, P.E. Description: existing in-ground pool, swimming pool, 20 by 40 foot, not built to approve plans on permit. Action is a public hearing. The proposed project requires the following variance pursuant to the Village of Port Jefferson Code. Pursuant to Code Section 250-11C, Part A, subsection, 250-11C, Part 3, subsection A, swimming pools must be set back a minimum of 20 feet from any property line. The existing pool is located 19.6 feet from the northwest rear property line, requiring a 0.4 foot variance. Is the applicant present? Mr. Doty, please come forward. Can I just ask you to raise your right hand? Do you swear the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Thank you. I spent a lot of time in front of cops, so can I tell you?
Is that better? Okay, very good.
Please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and.
I'm sorry,
ladies
just
and-
one last, Cindy, do we have all the mailings for this applicant? Yes, we do. Okay, and you did receive a copy of the staff report?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you. Please,
Received it this afternoon. Good
blame it
evening.
on the snow. Go ahead. It's all yours now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and ladies and gentlemen of the board, and thank you very much to Cindy for all her help. She's been helping me with some of the paperwork here. So, you've already read the description of what's going on. I came late to the party. The pool was already built, and so.
Want me to ask you some questions? I'll kind of walk you through
Yeah,
it. Maybe.
please
Okay,
do.
if you feel, that's fine. All right, so Parker, let's go to the original permit plans, please. All right, so it appears that a building permit was pulled here, and originally, maybe you can clarify that, originally you were supposed to be 40 feet off the property line based on, and again, these were the plans that were submitted with the original permit that I'm showing you. Could you maybe clarify for the board why we went from 40 to 20?
again, as I said, by the time I was involved, the pool was already installed.
Right.
I'm going to guess that in order to get additional yard space between the house and the pool, the contractor moved the pool an additional, 20-plus foot away from the house.
Mr.
towards
Doty,
the-
would you be opposed to the applicant coming forward or the owner coming forward and maybe clarifying if?
I'm not opposed at all.
Okay, would you mind coming? Sure. If you can just raise your right hand, please. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Can you clarify for us why you went from 40 to 20 on the original? Because look, on the original plans, you have a 40-foot setback from the rear property line, and on the application we have in front of us, you're at 20 and 19.6 plus or minus.
When we met with the contractor who originally built the
Just
pool,
stand for and speak into the
yes,
microphone if you don't mind,
absolutely.
please. Thank you.
we weren't even sure of any of the distances as long as we meet the criteria and the approved way of building the pool.
Okay.
So our understanding as the homeowners that the pool can just be built as it was approved to be built,
Uh-huh.
and that's all it is.
And if and your contractor was right, if you know, we were just trying to clarify that you originally have 40 feet from the back property line, and now you're at 20 feet, so that's, you pushed so correct me, it appears that you pushed the pool closer to the rear of your property, am I right in understanding that? Because you're further from that, let me make sure I'm.
Away from the house.
Further away from the house, I just wanna make sure that I'm, okay?
You constructed this pool, yes? You had this constructed. It wasn't existing when you
It
purchased.
wasn't existing.
Right.
That's
You
a brand,
constructed
that's a brand new pool.
Okay.
And on the other survey, if we go back, there's now a deck structure
And Tony, I'm just sorry, just for the record, this is the as-built survey
on
as
the
it is
as-built,
today.
right? There's a wood deck there of about 17.7 feet, yes?
That's correct.
Okay, so that was also constructed with the pool
It
simultaneously?
was not, it was there prior.
It was there prior.
It was
okay.
there prior.
Interesting, because that seems to make up the distance, maybe potentially, in that.
Right. And it appears that now that we're now we're 20 feet from the property line, correct me if I'm wrong, it's my understanding that in the original measurements, you were measuring off the fence, which now we've discovered is not the property line. I'm assuming you bought the property like this, sir? You bought the property with the
That's
existing
correct.
fence?
That is
Okay.
correct.
Is that your existing fence, to your knowledge?
It's probably our neighbor's fence.
Okay. Because you realize then if that's your neighbor's, oh no, you're gonna do the 5-foot pool or a 5-foot fence around the pool. And you are going to put a 5-foot fence around the immediate pool? Around the pool, you're gonna put a 5-foot fence immediately around the pool?
Yes.
Okay. And
If
that-
that's the requirement, that's.
yeah, it's the village and New York State requirement, so you,
Yeah,
On Westview Drive, see on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
east or the
absolutely.
west side of the street?
you can,
I believe.
Yes, sir.
I believe the fencing as it's done, the fence to the west now belongs to Lindsay Mousen, and she lives at 6 Rosita. Rosita is the block on the other
Okay.
side. When she
All right.
installed that pool in what appears to me to be 2020, 2021
Right.
timeframe, that's when that fence was installed.
okay. So you measured to that fence, assuming, you, the contractor.
Contractor.
Whoever measured to that fence, assuming it was on the property line. Then when your
Correct.
surveyor came in, he confirmed that it wasn't on the
Correct.
property line. Which is typical in most cases, 100 years ago, everybody put up a fence, this is where my property line was, and we run into this a
But
lot.
further to your question,
Yes,
the
sir.
fence along the north and the east side, if you notice there, 4 foot, that was part of the comments from your inspector.
Okay.
And that,
excellent.
and I think there was a misunderstanding. I don't I don't believe you intended to place a fence immediately around the pool. You want the yard and the house to be part of that barrier as required by New York State.
All right, Parker, can you pull up the fence plan, I believe, right, the fence plan, please? All right. And let's just, can you zoom in on the survey yep, upper right corner there? Because according to this, which is honestly not really our purview, it shows that you're putting a 5-foot fence immediately around the pool. Now,
That may have been the original plan.
okay, so that's, we're trying to,
Yes.
because you're going, if that's not your fence and you're not going to do this plan, which we're not binding you into doing this plan, I just want to be clear, then you're going to have to meet that New York State code, which Dan and his department will walk you through.
Understood.
So-
It needs, section R328 in the New York State Code.
Right. And I think they're 48 feet, but
48.
we're 60, right, Dan? Correct me if I'm wrong?
48 inches and
Right.
all the other requirements are identical with exception of you require 60 inches.
Right, right. Okay, I just want to be clear, so.
So that is the second option, and it's not something that I have discussed with,
right.
Ilya, is that he could surround the pool with a fence and,
Right.
and not do anything else with any of the other fencing. But right now, along that 200-foot section, that fence is 5 foot, and he also installed, there was a separate fence that ran from the corner of the property to the corner of the house back. I'm sorry.
Yep, I know what you're talking about, yeah,
Okay.
from the back, so, yep,
And has since gone from the garage over to, towards Winston, and then back north.
Well, I just want to make just a couple of things clear, because your client just testified that, yes, if you don't do the pool fence around the media pool, that's not really our purview, but the fence that we're talking about, the 200-foot section there, if that's not his fence, as you're saying, and not really sure, you need to clarify that, and then if that's not your fence and that belongs to the neighbor behind him, then he's gonna have to satisfy the code, he's gonna have to put another fence there or figure something out, which,
So it's either surround the pool directly
Right.
or,
and that's not us, that
Yes.
is the code, but that's also, we're superseded by the New York State code as well, so, just
Okay.
in that case, because that fence, it seems to be the crux of a lot of things that have gone on here. So at some point, probably a condition of this, the board would have to vote on it, but you're gonna need to clarify all those things with the revised, building permit.
understood.
Just, because there seems to be a lot of, things have changed, which, is not a fatal flaw, but, the building department, I'm sure, is gonna want it, and we'll probably condition it as well as a final set of plans, or a revised set of building plans, showing what you actually have there, meeting the codes. Dan can walk you through all that. It's not arduous, it's just housekeeping and trying to keep our records as accurately as possible.
Understood.
Does anybody have any questions or comments for this?
Do you think the variance is substantial?
I do not. I
Okay.
think
That's good. That's good.
I think other than maybe some of the spy satellites, and
Right.
I don't know that this
Right.
would ever have been seen.
I don't think anyone's here, this is more of a, I guess we'd have to say a technicality, but we still have to,
Understood.
we're bound by certain rules and codes, so. I'm just gonna, if you don't mind, Mr. Doty, I'm gonna walk through just a couple of things for you
Sure.
before I open it up to the public to speak. As you're aware, we're required to meet 5 criteria for this application, so I'm gonna do this on the record so we can have it there. Whether an undesirable change will be produced by the character of the neighborhood or detriment, by granting this variance.
I'm not sure that anybody would ever notice.
Right, and are there other pools in this?
There
on
are
this
pools
block?
on each side,
Okay.
surrounding
Okay.
this property.
So he was actually almost coming into conformance with everyone else around him, so to speak.
Correct. Yes, you can see them in that. this
Thank you,
one.
Park. Could you just, yep, I see a neighbor behind him, it looks like has a pool, right? Look at that one. Right, look, yeah, there's a series of pools here, so, okay. So it's typical to the neighborhood.
Yes.
Whether the benefit could be sought by some other method. It
Short
would've-
short of removing the pool.
Right, it would have been if we would just,
During
six-
planning, if this had appeared during,
Right.
during the
Right.
the building permit phase.
And I will tell you, this is not the first time this board has seen things like this happen, you know, a few feet one way or another, and, because an assumption was made. Whether the variance is substantial, we've answered
We
that
just answered
question.
This is minor.
Whether it would have any adverse impacts on physical, environmental conditions in the neighborhood.
I don't,
Right.
when you take a look at the area
Mhm.
of this, all told, it's about 3 sheets of paper.
Right.
If you took that slice of pie, because it's not exactly straight. If you
Right.
took that, it's about the same square footage as three pieces of paper.
Right, okay, and then and whether it was self-created,
No, this was,
well, his contract, or somebody, the contractor, whatever, so it would
Yes.
be yes, because it's still his contractor, you know, but it's not necessarily a, you know, fatal flaw. Does anybody have any questions or comments for this applicant?
No.
No.
No? All right, I'm gonna open it up to the public. Is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak on this application? Going once, come on forward. All right, sure. Ms. Doty, if you'd have a seat, please.
sure.
I'm gonna ask you just to give me your name and address for the record, please.
Scott Lindsay, 7 Waterview Drive.
Okay, and if I can ask you to raise your right hand, do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you just, for the board's context, where are you located to this property?
I'm on the east side, so that house,
Okay,
right there.
perfect, thank you, Mr.
Actually, the pool was put in, it conforms to the neighborhood.
Okay.
Looks quite nice, you know, they decorate the backyard nicely. I don't foresee any reason why anybody would have any complaint to.
And you have no, you being the immediate neighbor, have no objection to this application?
Not at all.
Okay, excellent, thank you, Mr. Lindsay. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this application? Please come forward and be heard.
Lynn Liebert, 9 Waterview Drive.
I'm sorry,
Lynn Liebert, 9 Waterview Drive.
okay, if you just raise your right hand, please. If you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And for context, just tell us where you are.
I'm 9, I'm one house further east.
Okay, on the other
So
side of
not
Mr.
in-
Lindsay? Okay.
Not immediately adjacent, 9 Waterview, not
Okay.
immediately adjacent, one house further east.
Is that your house right there that's highlighted there? That look like, it right, looks like next to
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay? Yeah.
Yes, and we have a similar pool.
No.
Well, I have no objection. I don't think it makes any difference,
Okay.
the 4 or 5 inches.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Is there anyone else that'd like to come forward and speak on this application? Seeing-
In addition, I have
Sir.
a couple of letters from the neighbors.
Okay, if you could bring them forward, please.
Give me one moment. I did have a couple of letters.
Cindy will we'll call these Exhibit A1, whichever. Mr. Doty, can you give those to me, please, if you wouldn't mind? No, no apologies necessary. Thank you.
I had the immediate neighbors provide a letter basically saying that they had no objection to this. There's another one for the woman at 6 Rosita. She is the neighbor right there with that one. Unfortunately, I don't have the letter yet. I will provide it to you.
If you could provide it to Cindy at some point.
I will.
This way we'll have it for the record.
And also several of Ilya's neighbors you see that they've come
Yes.
here in support.
I'm just going to read these for the record, so
Go
we
ahead.
have them into the, this is to the Village Board of Port Jefferson Zoning Board. Please be advised that I am the adjoining neighbor to the Zudovs, and I apologize again if I butchered your last name, residents at 5 Waterview Drive. I've reviewed the variance proposal for this location of the pool, and I have no objection to the pool as constructed in this location. This is Rory and Michelle Sherman. They are at 3 Waterview Drive. Can you highlight that, Parker, please? Okay, they're that neighbor. Again, to the Village of Port Jefferson Zoning Board, please be advised that I am the adjoining neighbor to the Zudovs, residents at 5 Waterview Drive. I have reviewed the variance proposal for this location of the pool, and I have no objection to this pool as constructed in this location. This is Lindsay Scott and Michelle H. McConneville at 7 Waterview Drive.
They're here.
Oh, that, okay, perfect, perfect, all right, excellent. Are there any further questions or comments for this?
Not for me.
Sir, do you have anything you'd like to add to the application?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Anybody else from the public would like to speak on this application? Seeing none and hearing none, I'm gonna make a motion that we close the hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much for everyone coming out. We appreciate it. We know it was a hardship with this weather, so thank you.
Thank you. No worries.
trial.
All right. So Dan, one condition that I'm gonna recommend for the board is that if we approve this application, that it's contingent, or conditioned on an updated building permit, because nothing matches what he has there.
Yeah.
And I thought I would have a better explanation why you went from 40 to 20.
It's
you know.
obvious. It's right there. The deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would just to clarify your point too. So that deck was approved at one point. So we do have a CO for that.
Right.
It just wasn't on the survey.
It's
Like
the survey that he
yeah,
used to
so
create the proposed pool. Yeah.
that's a good point.
It sounds like another contractor, error.
Yep.
So, does anybody have any questions or comments on this application?
0.4 inches, and they brought a strong application.
No, it's a 0.4
Point
feet.
4.
0.4
Oh,
feet.
0.4 feet.
Well, 0.4 is the same thing, right?
No, 33.6 inches, yeah.
Well, can I
No.
just?
Yeah.
5
Right.
inches, right? 5, yeah.
All right, so this is Secra, where is the Secra? Dan, under Secra, what is this, a type 2 action?
Yeah, type 2 because it's a minor area
All right,
variance.
So for the record, it's a type 2 action under Secra. I have no issues with this other than conditioning the variance to have an updated building permit, which will then take care of any fence issues. The building department will pick up any fence issues, so if nobody has any issues, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the following variance. Pursuant to 250-11C, Section 3, Part A, swimming pools must be set back a minimum of 20 feet from any property line. The existing pool is located 19.6 feet from the northwest property line, requiring a 0.4-foot variance. Make a motion that we approve this application as read with the condition that the building permit is updated properly to reflect actual conditions. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. That being said, if there's no other business before this board, I'm gonna make a motion that we adjourn.
Second that one too.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are done. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.